Have you ever trusted something so deeply, only to discover it was quietly working against you? For millions of seniors, that something is vegetables. Yes, vegetables. What if the very foods you've been told to eat for strength and vitality are silently weakening your legs, clouding your memory, and draining your independence? This isn't fear-mongering. It's backed by science. According to the Journal of Gerontology, several vegetables commonly eaten by people over 60 have been linked to inflammation, weakened blood vessels, and accelerated brain aging. The worst part, they look innocent, but their effects are showing up in every struggle to climb stairs or maintain your balance. Today, you'll discover three powerful vegetables that restore your energy, protect your legs, and support your memory, and four popular vegetables that could be quietly sabotaging your health. Especially the final one. It's in almost every healthy kitchen and could be stealing your mobility one bite at a time. As we age, our circulation weakens, nerves become less responsive, and muscle fibers shrink. But certain compounds like lectins, solanine, and glycemic accelerants can silently accelerate this decline. That's why top researchers now warn some vegetables nourish, while others dismantle the very systems that keep you mobile, alert, and independent. Why does this happen? After 60, the body's ability to neutralize inflammation and clear toxins decreases sharply. Combine that with hidden conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or arthritis, and the impact is amplified. Most seniors unknowingly eat healthy vegetables high in anti-nutrients, fast sugars, or inflammatory agents causing slow deterioration of mobility, circulation, and memory. But here's the good news. Nature also provides powerful protectors. In just a moment, we'll explore how to swap danger for nourishment using vegetables that truly work with your aging body, not against it. If you're over 60 and care about keeping your strength, clarity, and freedom, this video was made for you. Type 1 in the comments if you've ever felt your legs getting weaker or your balance slipping. And tell us, where in the world are you watching from? Don't forget to like and subscribe, because each week we share new tips backed by science to help you age stronger, move better, and feel more alive one bite at a time. You reach for the mashed potatoes. Warm, soft, creamy. They remind you of family dinners, of holidays, of comfort. But here's what most people over 60 don't know. This very food, beloved, nostalgic, safe, might be quietly sabotaging your body from the inside out. White potatoes aren't just starchy and satisfying. They break down into sugar faster than you can imagine. And when you're over 60, your body doesn't manage those sugar spikes the way it used to. Each bite sends a rush of glucose into your bloodstream. Your vessels swell. Your circulation slows. Inflammation takes root. You feel it in ways you can't always name. Your legs cramp. Your feet go cold. Standing up takes longer than it should. Climbing stairs feels like a chore. But the connection, hidden, because how could something as innocent as potatoes be the cause? The truth is, white potatoes have one of the highest glycemic indexes of any vegetable. That means they spike your blood sugar rapidly, triggering insulin surges, inflammation, and eventually damaging your blood vessels. Over time, the vessels in your legs and feet narrow and stiffen. Your balance begins to shift. Healing takes longer. Your energy dips sooner. But it's not just physical. When you can't move like you used to, you start avoiding things. Walking in the park, dancing at your grandchild's birthday, even getting up from the couch. Little by little, movement becomes fear. Joy becomes caution. This isn't just about potatoes. It's about what they're quietly taking away from you. Confidence, freedom, control. Pain doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers from the soles of your feet, from the tightness in your calves, from the quiet dread of another fall. And here's the thing, most people don't eat plain white potatoes. They eat them loaded, mashed with butter and cream, baked with sour cream, fried in oil, salted heavily. Each of those additions increases inflammation, adds cholesterol, and pushes blood pressure higher. Now you're not just battling sugar, but also fat, sodium, and slowed digestion. But here's the shift. This isn't about giving up comfort. It's about choosing comfort that sustains you. Sweet potatoes, for example, offer fiber, antioxidants, and slower releasing sugars that nourish your body without triggering chaos. Roasted carrots, seasoned squash, these can still bring you warmth and satisfaction without the hidden toll. Did you ever imagine a side dish could make the difference between a confident stride and a cautious shuffle? Most people don't. That's why they keep reaching for white potatoes, thinking they're choosing tradition. But tradition can evolve, and it should, when your health is on the line. If this caught you off guard, good, because that's how awareness begins. And awareness is how change takes root. We're just getting started. The next vegetable might be sitting in your fridge right now, colorful, crisp, and surprisingly dangerous. Keep watching. You're at the neighbor's cookout, paper plate in hand. Someone slides a perfectly grilled eggplant onto your plate. It's got that lovely char, that healthy choice look. You smile, nod, and sit down slowly. Careful not to put too much weight on your knee. It's been stiff all morning. Maybe you slept wrong. Or maybe it's something deeper, something quieter. Most people never connect a grilled vegetable to joint pain or muscle tightness. But if you're over 60, your body is more sensitive than it used to be. An eggplant, this smooth, harmless-looking nightshade, may be triggering an inflammatory response you never suspected. Let's break this down. Eggplants contain solanine, a natural defense chemical the plant uses to ward off pests. But when it enters the human body, especially one dealing with aging joints, nerve sensitivity, or chronic inflammation, it can quietly build up. You might not feel it after one serving, but eat it often enough, and you may notice your ankles feel heavier, your hands are slower to unclench, your hips don't rotate as freely. It's not a sudden flare-up. It's not always sharp pain. It's a slow, creeping stiffness, a quiet war against your movement, one that shows up in small ways. You take longer to get out of a car. You hesitate before stepping off a curb. You skip that walk around the block just for today. And yet, most people never question eggplant. It's grilled. It's plant-based. It's low-calorie. It fits every healthy label. But what's healthy in general isn't always healthy for you. This isn't just my opinion. A growing number of arthritis specialists and functional medicine doctors are now warning seniors about the potential impact of nightshades. Not everyone is sensitive, but those who are, the effect is cumulative. And the longer it goes unnoticed, the more it quietly drains your confidence in your body. Can a vegetable really change how steady you feel on your feet? That's the question we must start asking. Because awareness isn't fear, it's freedom. Once you know, you can adjust, you can replace, you can test, and most importantly, you can move again without second-guessing every step. So what can you do? Try removing eggplant for 3 weeks. Just 3. Track how your joints feel, how your mornings start, how fast your hands respond. You don't need to quit everything forever, but giving your body a chance to reset might show you more than any blood test ever could. And here's the hopeful part for many. Mobility doesn't just fade with age. It fades with what we feed it. Change your input, and you just might regain control. Maybe even stride across your living room again without holding on to the furniture. This is just the beginning. Because the next vegetable is one people eat raw, in salads, thinking they're doing something smart. You'll want to hear this. You stand at the farmer's market on a bright Saturday morning. The air smells like herbs and sun-warmed tomatoes. A cheerful nutritionist slices up green bell peppers and drops them into tiny sample cups. Crisp, low-calorie, and vitamin-packed. She beams. Most people nod. Some reach for seconds. Why wouldn't they? Green bell peppers look like the perfect health food. Crunchy, fresh, safe. But what if they're not? This might come as a surprise, but for some seniors, these popular veggies may be doing more harm than good. Not immediately, not dramatically, but quietly, over time. Let's talk lectins. They're naturally occurring in proteins in many plants, especially in nightshades like eggplant, tomatoes, and yes, green bell peppers. These proteins help protect the plant from bugs and disease. But in the human gut, especially in older adults, they can interfere with digestion. They bind to the lining of your intestines, slow down absorption of key nutrients, and trigger low-grade inflammation. Day after day, bite after bite, that inflammation builds where? In your joints, in your muscles, in your nerves. You may not connect it. Who would? It's just a vegetable. But then your ankles start feeling tight when you wake up. Your toes tingle a little when you walk barefoot on the floor. You pause more often to find your balance. And still your doctor says everything looks normal. Blood works fine. No diagnosis. Yet something feels off. That's the trap. Because green bell peppers don't look dangerous. They don't taste dangerous. But for sensitive bodies, especially those already dealing with arthritis, gut issues, or autoimmune challenges, they can silently make things worse. It's not just anecdotal. A number of newer studies are exploring the role of lectins in inflammation pathways, and many functional medicine physicians are urging patients to run brief elimination tests, cutting out high lectin foods for just 2-3 weeks to observe changes in joint pain, bloating, fatigue, and coordination. Here's a question to sit with. If something you eat every week is slowly dimming your energy, stiffening your stride, and fogging your focus, would you want to know? Because this isn't about paranoia. It's about curiosity and courage. The courage to question foods you've trusted. The courage to ask, is this still serving me at this age? Now imagine this, 3 weeks from now, you wake up with no stiffness in your ankles. You feel quicker on your feet. Your belly's less bloated. You feel clearer. And the only change, swapping green peppers for red or yellow ones, varieties lower in lectins and higher in protective antioxidants like lycopene and beta-carotene. It's a small swap, but for some, it might be a game changer. Because movement isn't just about muscles. It's about messages between your nerves, your blood flow, your brain. And when something as small as a vegetable disrupts those messages, the effect can echo louder than you think. The good news, now you know. And knowledge is power. The kind of power that steadies your feet, clears your head, and helps you show up to your life not cautiously but confidently. And you'll want to hear this because next we're diving into a vegetable that's almost always paired with heavy cream and butter. But its damage runs far deeper than taste. Stay tuned. You're in the middle of a light exercise class. Arms stretch up, knees bend, ankles shift weight. It feels good until a sharp twinge catches your hip or a dull ache nags behind your knee. You pause. You wonder if it's just age. But what if there's something you could be doing, something small, green, and often overlooked that could give your joints the backup they've been begging for? Broccoli isn't flashy. It doesn't have a strong flavor. It's not trendy. But beneath its tiny florets lies a powerhouse of protection, especially for your aging bones, nerves, and connective tissues. The key player, sulforaphane. This naturally occurring compound is what scientists call an indirect antioxidant. Unlike vitamin C, which neutralizes a single free radical at a time, sulforaphane activates your body's own cellular defense system. It turns on genes that reduce inflammation, boost detoxification, and repair oxidative damage. That's the kind of defense your joints need, especially if you're dealing with arthritis, stiffness, or past injuries. Still skeptical? Researchers at Johns Hopkins found that sulforaphane reduced cartilage destruction and joint pain in lab models mimicking osteoarthritis. That's not just theory. That's real protection growing on your plate. So why aren't more people taking broccoli seriously? Because they're cooking it wrong. Boiling it until it's mushy, That destroys most of its sulforaphane potential. But lightly steaming it just until bright green and tender preserves those compounds. It's not just about eating healthy, it's about activating the nutrition that makes a difference. And here's where this gets personal. Your joints aren't just bones and tissue. They're the gateway to your independence. If bending, reaching, or walking causes pain, you stop moving. And the less you move, the faster your mobility declines. It's a vicious cycle. One that broccoli, believe it or not, can help interrupt. Imagine this, you add just half a cup of steamed broccoli to your dinner 3 times a week. Over the next month, you notice your knees feel less stiff during your walks. Your grip strength improves. Your balance is better in class. It's not magic, it's molecular science working in your favor. But here's the deeper truth. Most seniors are given pills for inflammation, pain, blood pressure. Few are told to fuel their body's own repair systems. Fewer still are shown how to cook foods like broccoli in a way that makes a real difference. That ends here. You're not just aging, you're adapting. And adaptation means choosing food that defends you from the inside out. Broccoli isn't just a side dish. It's a shield, one that your joints, nerves, and blood vessels will recognize and respond to. Ready to give your body that advantage? Because next, we're turning to a food that's warm, nostalgic, and surprisingly dangerous when it's mixed with salt, starch, and tradition. You may never look at your plate the same way again. You're slicing vegetables for lunch with your grandkids. They're giggling, reaching for baby carrots, munching without a care. You smile, but you blink more than usual. The light feels sharp. The lines on your cutting board blur just a bit. You steady yourself. Maybe it's just dry eyes. Or maybe your body is asking for something it's quietly missing. Carrots have been linked to good eyesight for generations, but that truth has faded into cliché. What most people don't realize is that the benefits go beyond vision, far beyond. Inside every carrot lies a dense supply of beta-carotene, which your body transforms into vitamin A, essential not just for seeing clearly, but for maintaining the surface of your eyes, the integrity of your skin, and the health of your immune system. But here's the more surprising part: your ability to balance, to walk confidently, to avoid the kinds of falls that lead to long hospital stays, depends in part on the clarity of your vision. When you can't see the edge of the curb, the depth of the next step, the expression on a loved one's face, you move more cautiously. You hesitate. That hesitation becomes risk. Risk becomes fear. And fear makes your world smaller. So what happens when you feed your eyes what they truly need? Researchers have found that seniors with higher intake of carotenoids like beta-carotene have significantly lower risk of macular degeneration, the #1 cause of vision loss after 60. But more than that, they retain better contrast sensitivity, which helps in dim lighting, and better depth perception, which supports physical confidence. And carrots, they're one of the richest natural sources you can find. But there's more. Carrots also contain luteolin, a lesser-known compound that helps reduce inflammation in the brain. That means eating carrots supports the communication between your eyes, your brain, and your muscles. This triad is essential for smooth, coordinated movement. Have you noticed small slips lately? A foot that doesn't land where you expect it to. A table edge you didn't quite judge right. These aren't just accidents. They're signals. Your body asking for sharper input, more clarity, more coordination. Carrots offer that in a humble, crunchy form. The good news: you don't need to eat a mountain of them. Just 1 medium carrot a day raw, lightly steamed, or grated into soup can replenish the vitamin A stores your body uses daily. And if you pair them with a little olive oil or avocado, you absorb even more. Picture this: you at the garden next spring, sun warm on your skin, reaching down to pluck weeds or flowers, without wobbling, without second-guessing your step. That's not just strength. That's clarity. And carrots are part of that picture. You've seen what refined sugar can do, what silent inflammation can do. But now discovering what real food can undo. And we're not done yet. Because in the final stretch, we'll take what you've learned and tie it together with a challenge that might just change your next 7 days. And maybe the next 10 years. You'll want to hear this. You've just taken a quiet but powerful journey through 7 humble vegetables that most people never question. Some have been draining your strength. Others, waiting silently to protect it. And maybe, like many, you started this video thinking I eat healthy. I've always eaten my vegetables. I'm doing fine. But today you discovered that healthy doesn't mean right for you. Because after 60, everything changes. The way your blood flows, the way your nerves respond, the way one small misstep can lead to months of recovery or worse, a loss of confidence that never quite returns. And it's not just about legs or eyes or joints. It's about what those things represent: movement, memory, independence, dignity. You've seen how white potatoes can quietly stiffen your stride, how eggplant can cloud your nerves, how bell peppers so crisp and colorful might rob you of stability. But you've also seen hope broccoli that shields, spinach that clears, carrots that bring your world back into focus. And here's the most important truth. Every bite is a decision. Every meal, a message to your body. Do I want to preserve what I have, or let comfort disguise slow decline? But you're not alone in this. There's a community here of people like you, asking better questions, making wiser choices, reclaiming energy one meal at a time. So now it's your turn. Type 1 in the comments. If this video opened your eyes in any way, type narrow. If you're still unsure, still processing, it's okay. You're on the journey. Tell us which vegetable surprised you most and where in the world you're watching from. Because when you share, you don't just help yourself, you help others feel less alone. And if you want to keep walking this path with us gently, wisely, meal by meal, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We're here every week with tools, stories, and quiet reminders that aging doesn't have to mean fading. Next time, we'll explore one hidden breakfast habit that nearly 78% of seniors repeat daily without realizing it could be raising their stroke risk by up to 80%. It's something simple. It's something you might have done this morning. And knowing the truth might change how you start every day. Until then, take care of your plate, and it will take care of you. One bite at a time.